This is Celebrity Thursdays. Every Thursday we present you with another celebrity. Today we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Quentin Tarantino. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers, and welcome to another exciting original video presented by Alux.com. Today revealing some interesting and lesser known facts about the revolutionary and controversial director Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Jerome Tarantino was born in Knoxville, Tennessee on March 27, 1963. However, he was actually raised in California after his parents split. He spent much of his early life transfixed by movies, and he directed his first film, My Best Friend's Birthday, in 1987. Unfortunately, the final reel of the film was destroyed by fire at the end of the editing process. His perseverance paid off when he shot to fame in the early 1990s with his hard-hitting film Reservoir Dogs. Since then, he's become known for his gripping, ultra-violent storylines, laced with a large helping of action and suspense. His groundbreaking movies smashed onto the scene and changed the action genre forever. Reservoir Dogs, Natural Born Killers, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, Inglourious Basterds, Django Unchained, and The Hateful Eight have all achieved cult status since their release, turning Tarantino into the undoubtable king of action in Hollywood. Tarantino's films are without doubt essential masterpieces, and their role in defining the action movie genre should not be overlooked. There's no question he'll go down as one of the most influential directors of all time, a living legend who helped to shape the cinematic world. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. Let's take a closer look now at this influential director with the 15 things you didn't know about Quentin Tarantino. Number 1. Quentin dropped out of school to follow his dreams. Tarantino was so convinced he would make it in Hollywood, he dropped out of high school at the age of 16 to pursue his dream career. He initially exchanged his books for shifts at an adult movie theater, using the money to pay for acting lessons at the James Best Theater Company. He had hoped to develop the acting prowess he needed to break into the industry, but within 2 years, he had quit the course, citing boredom as the main reason. These lessons did, however, pay off in the future, as he cast several of his former classmates in key parts later on in his movies. Number 2. He's one of the most studied directors in the world. Quentin Tarantino's movies have proven to be earth-shatteringly influential since hitting the big screen starting in the 90s. So instrumental, in fact, that entire college courses have sprung up based on his work. From Tokyo to Los Angeles, media studies students have undertaken course after course, picking apart his fabulous scripts. In 2013, one study found that Tarantino was the most studied director across university courses in the United Kingdom. No other director even came close. Could Quentin be the most studied movie director in the world? Not too shabby for a guy that dropped out of school without any qualifications. Number 3. In 5 years working at a video store, he watched every movie they had. Before seeing his movies burst onto the scene, Tarantino spent 5 years working at a movie store called Movie Archives. The store specialized in rare and obscure films, and although a world away from the success and fame of his later years, he used the time to watch every single movie that the store owned. This obsessive viewing led him to develop an encyclopedic knowledge of film and proved hugely influential on his later directing style. Number 4. His breakout movie made $300 million at the box office. Tarantino's life changed for the better in 1992 when his breakout movie Reservoir Dogs was aired at the Sundance Film Festival. The film was widely acclaimed as a cinematic masterpiece. However, it was not the first time the film had been aired. In fact, it had seen mass walkouts during previous screenings. However, persistence, courage, and self-belief ended up paying off for Quentin, who saw his movie later gross $300 million at the box office, after being made with a relatively tiny budget of $1.2 million. Number 5. He went from jail to being a multi-millionaire. Tarantino's net worth now measures around $100 million, putting him among the top 30 wealthiest directors in the world. This fantastic wealth is far removed from Quentin's dark days of struggle. Unfortunately, in his more impoverished days, he ended up spending 3 separate periods in jail for non-payment of parking fines. Not having enough money is something the director will never have to worry about again. Number 6. He has more acting credits than directing credits. Despite Tarantino's fame as an iconic movie director, he's proved a versatile talent in the film world as well, acting, producing, and writing scripts for numerous other movies. His ability to turn his hand in multiple roles has actually seen him rack up more acting credits than directing credits. He's notched an impressive 36 acting credits on his resume, compared to 21 directing credits. However, many of his acting roles have occurred in his own box office smashes. Number 7. He once got into a physical altercation with a cab driver. It's not too well known, but Quentin Tarantino almost lost a nipple after a violent brawl with a cab driver in New York. The confrontation occurred after Quentin apparently took exception to the cabbie's rude treatment of his then-girlfriend. The argument boiled over into a heated fist fight, leading the New York cabbie to sink his teeth into Tarantino's chest, nearly removing his nipple. Tarantino kept the incident a secret for a year, hoping not to get any bad press from the episode. Number 8. He has a huge trophy cabinet bursting with awards. Over Tarantino's quarter-century of spectacular movie success, he's managed to pick up an award or two. In fact, he has a cabinet bursting with awards. The movie mogul has been handed 2 Academy Awards, 2 BAFTAs, 2 Golden Globes, numerous independent movie awards, and both an Emmy and a Grammy nomination. To top it all off, he even has his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Number 9. His most successful movie, Django Unchained, grossed over $425 million. Quentin's cinematic success has continued to grow over the years, with his films all proving to be huge box office successes in their own right. However, his 2012 film Django Unchained, a movie about a freed slave in America's Deep South, proved to be his biggest hit, grossing an astounding $162.8 million in the United States alone, and pulling in a huge $425.4 million worldwide. These figures put Tarantino up with the most significant directors of all time. Number 10. He owns a $7 million mansion in Los Angeles. Quentin's success has seen him live a life of luxury, and these days he lives in an opulent mansion in the hills outside of Hollywood. It's estimated that his current estate in Los Angeles is worth $7 million. His house comes equipped with 7 bedrooms, a sauna, jacuzzi, tennis court, and outside swimming pool. We uncover several interesting facts about the city he calls home in our video, 15 Things You Didn't Know About Los Angeles. Click on the upper right-hand corner to check it out. Number 11. Watching sports is his least favorite thing. Although Americans are well known for their love of sports, Quentin is not a fan at all. It would even be fair to say that Tarantino hates sporting activities. You would be more likely to find the movie icon at a comic convention than at a sporting event in one of LA's stadiums. Tarantino has stated that he could not think of anything more tedious than sitting around watching sports, and would rather spend his time with his feet up watching a good movie. When talking about sports, he was quoted as saying, "To me, torture would be watching sports on television." Number 12. Quentin only ever hated one character, Calvin Candy. Despite creating a number of unsavory villains during his career, Tarantino has only ever admitted to hating one of his creations, the racist villain Calvin Candy from Django Unchained, played by Quentin's friend Leonardo DiCaprio. Tarantino is well known for his hatred of racism and injustice, and has been quoted as saying of Candy, "I hated Candy, and normally I like my villains no matter how bad they are." He further went on to say, "I could see his point of view, but I hated it so much. For the first time as a writer, I just hated this guy." Number 13. He hates violence in real life. Of course, Quentin is well known for his violent, gory films in Hollywood, but in real life, Tarantino is actually a total pacifist. He commented once at a press conference saying, "In movies, violence is cool. I like it." However, the director also commented to the Orlando Sentinel that he has a big problem with real-life violence. This may well seem a contradiction in terms, but he's openly come out and stated, "To say that I get a big kick out of violence in movies and can enjoy violence in movies, but find it totally abhorrent in real life? I can feel totally justified and totally comfortable with that statement. I do not think that one is a contradiction of the other. Real-life violence is real-life violence. Movies are movies. It's not the same thing at all." Number 14. He appeared on Golden Girls as an Elvis impersonator. Quentin's favorite style of music is rockabilly, with his own personal style being heavily influenced by the musical genre. Tarantino has often been spotted wearing rockabilly clothing and sporting Elvis-inspired pompadour hairstyles. And the king of rock, Elvis Presley, is one of his all-time favorite artists, and Tarantino has admitted to being heavily influenced by Presley in his teen years. Interestingly, one of the first screen appearances came in the 80s classic sitcom Golden Girls, where he was featured as an Elvis impersonator with 11 other impersonators at the age of 25. Number 15. He plans on directing only 2 more films. Tarantino has often talked about his intention to step away from directing after 10 movies, stating that after 10, he would concentrate on relaxing and continuing with his writing. He's been quoted as saying, "I don't believe you should stay on stage until people are begging you to get off. I like the idea of leaving them wanting a bit more. I do think directing is a young man's game." Sadly, that only leaves us with 2 more films to look forward to, but at least we know we're in for one hell of a ride. There you have it, Aluxers, some interesting, lesser-known facts about Quentin Tarantino. Now that you've learned some more about him, we'd like to know, do you think Tarantino will really stop directing after 10 movies? Let us know what you think in the comments. And as always, as a thank you for sticking with us all the way to the end, here's a bonus fact just for you. Number 16. An estimated 450 gallons of fake blood was used in Kill Bill. We've all seen Tarantino's films, from Reservoir Dogs to The Hateful Eight, and every film has a fair amount of fake blood flying around in the name of entertainment. Putting some kind of figure on it all is difficult, but it's been estimated that in Kill Bill alone, 450 gallons of fake blood ended up being used. And you know what? We wouldn't expect anything less from Tarantino. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.